What's up, everyone? I get a couple email questions saying that they've seen in past videos that I've assisted before, and I have over the past couple years, and I still do in a way, to make extra money as well, and plus there's still more to learn, which I'll get to in a second. And they go, what tips do you have for assisting? I'm afraid to get into it, or, I'm starting to assist, but I'm not comfortable, I don't know what to do. Well, I'm here to give you at least 7 tips that should either help you to start assisting, to encourage you to go out there and do it, because it's one of the most important things you can do as a learning tool, and plus it's actually a form of an income, and how to get better at assisting. So here's 7 tips. These will help you out. You will notice that this first one I'm going to give you will link back to almost all these tips I'm going to give to you, and it's all about thinking ahead. If you can think ahead, now if you're just starting out, once again, it might take a time or two to learn, but if you're just thinking ahead to what's next, if you're anticipating, oh, we're moving from this studio setup to this setup, if you think ahead and you start doing things ahead of time, if you start preparing things ahead of time, the person who hired you will hire you back again, because they're like, wow, this person's definitely, they know what they're thinking about. They know what the hell they're doing. So that's pretty important. So think ahead. It's great to do, and you'll look so great to, the person who hired you, because you're thinking creatively. You're like, ooh, what can I do? You're passionate about it. Always be busy, but not in the way. So always do something. If you're off there, on the side, texting or anything like that, or not contributing in any way, well, you look horrible, you will not be hired back, and you're not learning anything. So my advice to you is to always be busy, always be on your toes, always be like, you're ready to go grab the next thing to give to him, or pack something away when it's not done, or always be doing something. Now, of course, there's times, that there will be downtime that you can, sit off to the side and be to yourself, because, the photographer and the model or whatever's going on, they have to communicate themselves, so you don't want to be in the way. So basically, just always be ready to do something, always be busy. You will find so many varieties of this one, but get to know how the photographer works, how their studio set up, but most importantly, how they set up and pack their gear. Everyone is different. I've worked with different, I also do video as well. So I've worked with different videographers, lighting technicians, with their own trucks that are packed a certain way. You just have to adapt at how people set up things. I've worked with green screen. That's, it's the green where you can, put any background you want. I've seen at least 15 different ways of how to set up a green screen already, and it's just nuts. That's only on few jobs. So there's always something, new to learn. But if you learn how to pack something up, the right way, the way they love it, oh my God, you are in like Flint, man. You are golden to them, because they can rely on you. So get to know their equipment, get to know everything about that. The best assistants are good at being invisible. You're out of the way, basically. You're there, but you're not there. But being invisible doesn't mean, just sit off to the side for the whole time and, help just once in a while. Always be ready. Once again, it goes back to thinking ahead. Always be ready to go and grab the nearest light stand or something like that. Like, oh, I got it, here you go. Because that he wants to set up, or he or she wants to set up another light for the shot, something creative or anything like that. So always be on your feet, but be invisible. Get out of the way. Yeah, shut up. What? Oh. Well, basically, that's pretty important. As an assistant, be silent. What I like to do is, and a lot of people just put their phone on silent, I like to turn mine off. So that way, even if it's just a call, it'll constantly vibrate. I just don't even put my phone on at all. One of the biggest things is being silent, because once again, you can't get into the way of the communication of the photographer and the subject, or you're going to mess something up. So be silent. But I'm not saying you can't ask questions, because I'm going to tell you something. If you don't ask a question about how something works, the setup or anything like that, you're not going to learn. And that's what a lot of people will tell you. So at the right times, not during a shoot, necessarily not as they're shooting, don't be afraid to ask questions, though. That's not what I mean about being silent. But just basically don't disrupt. No matter what, you still have to have some kind of knowledge about what's going on. But I'm not saying you have to be an expert to be an assistant, because if you are, you don't really have to be an assistant. But that's not the point. There's just so many things you learn. Once again, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I still work with different, video crews and other photographers. There's still lights I've never heard of. There's different techniques on how to do something. Once again, I mentioned that green screen thing. There's so many different ways to, put them up, hang them up, etc. But it's just, there's something new you can learn, and it's just something that you should do. Have some kind of mindset, know some things, know the basic, like, oh, this is a light stand, or know what a reflector is. But there's so many different things that you don't know, different variations of things. And that way, you'll learn something and it looks good. You can help them. Once again, usually my points always relate to one of the first things that I say, and that's, remember, that was thinking ahead. Be a problem solver. Now, there's not much I have to say to this, because it's it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you're a problem solver, you can think ahead. You can't anticipate, you know, oh, well, if this goes wrong, I know I have to go over there, grab this, or I can rig this a certain way, or, you know, you can use things that aren't supposed to do that. You know, sandbags or the heavy bags or you hold stuff down, I can use a light stand to do the same thing. A heavier light stand will weigh something down, just etc. Be a problem solver. Think ahead. So there are 7 tips that should at least help you get, you know, to encourage you to go out there and assist, because it's not that scary once you go and do it. You know, after your first time, you're good. And if you get hired back, they like you. So hopefully these 7 tips helped you. If they definitely did, give them a quick thumbs up. You know, subscribe down below for any more. I got other business advice, you know, tips, tricks, humor stuff in general. And let me know down below of any other tips you want to give to other people who are looking to become better assistants or assistants. But here's at least 7 huge ones and most important ones that should get you going. But please assist. It's worth it when you're just starting out or if you're looking to make some extra side cash. Eric Rossi, get out with the eye.